Welcome back to the Montana Garage, home of a running, but not yet driving 55 Chevy. That's right. If you watched the last video, you know we got this thing to run. She's a runner. I don't know if we can really call her a runner yet. She's a starter. She fires right up and runs a little bit. Definitely have some tuning to do. We haven't set the timing. I haven't messed with the carburetor, any of that stuff, because as you can see, there's no radiator, no coolant type situation. So we have some stuff to deal with. And in this video, we're going to do some of that. In today's video, I'd like to get the radiator installed. I got to get the alternator installed. So getting the radiator installed, that's going to allow us to obviously add a little coolant to the motor so we can run it a little bit longer and actually, turn it into a runner. Get some tuning done, let it run for a little bit. We need to do something with these spark plug wires. They're so long. I've messed with them a little bit. I don't even really know where to start. I'm going to see if I can buy just some new ends and cut them and start over. I might even just buy a new kit that I can customize and use these for spares. I don't know. Like I said, I think I said in the last video, they're long enough to run the distributor from the back seat, I guess, if you want to try to do that. Not sure why they're so long, but anyways, way too long for what I need. So we got to do something with that. We got to get the radiator, the alternator. And then the other thing I want to do today is it's 33 days until Rocky Mountain Race Week. I'm still trying to make it. We got us a runner, but not a driver. But we're getting there. One of the things I need for Rocky Mountain Race Week is a separate set of rear wheels and tires because I got the Hoosier QuickTime Pros. They're basically DOT slick, so they got a couple grooves in them. Here's a bigger version of it that goes on a 57. Basically a slick with a couple grooves so they can say they're street legal. But everybody's telling me I definitely do not want to run them on the street in the rain, and I can understand that. Plus, it's just gonna, wear and tear 1,000 miles or whatever it is of driving. So I'd like to have a separate set. Money. Don't really have any of that, of course. But one option I have is I have a 69 Chevelle in the other shop, the other garage, the house garage, and it's got 15-inch wheels and tires. They came on the car, so I don't know the exact sizing of the rear wheel. The tires, I think, are going to be too short. I need kind of a tall tire with this low of gear, especially for the highway. I want to get as tall a tire as I can in there. But anyways, I'm rambling on about this forever, but I'm going to pull a rear wheel in here, and then I got to go to the shop and move a bunch of crap because, we got household stuff in there, and then try to get one rear wheel off over there and put it on over here just to see if the wheels are going to fit. And if the wheels fit, at least I can run those and just have to focus on trying to get another set of tires of some sort. So that's kind of what's going on today. Let's get to it. Somehow in my days of collecting, I have scored what I believe to be a little core support gasket. So luckily, I have one of those. Still got our core support hanging up from our painting yesterday. So we'll get this down and see if I can find some hardware and get it on there. Step numero uno, we got the radiator support. How did I lose the name of that? Man, is there anything in there? Hello? We got the radiator support, right? All right, step numero uno, we got the radiator support just kind of loosely in its home. I threw the new crossbar on, and if you watched yesterday's, or it was yesterday for me, if you watched the other video where we painted this stuff, I didn't paint this because it was already pretty close to that, and it's not exactly the same, but if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't know. So we left it like this. Maybe we'll paint it when we paint some more stuff, but yeah, probably not. So I had a little hardware for that, and then I actually bought a kit, I think from Woody's, that's supposed to be all the hardware for the front sheet metal. So we got sheet metal bolt, washers, clips and nuts, radiator support, bolt for hood latch. Anyways, it's supposed to be, I thought it was everything you need to put the front sheet metal together. And I guess it's most of it, but for some reason, unless they just lost it for me or skipped it for me, or it's not in there, maybe it's not supposed to be there. There's no bolts for any of this hardware. Some of them, like there's a few here where they have the little nut and you don't need a bolt, but I need a bolt for this, I need bolts for these, or not bolts, nuts. I already got, the bolts are there, I need the nuts. Is there anything in there? Hello? You know what I mean. So anyways, story of my life, I got to run and get more stuff. I'm kind of scared to know how much I've spent on hardware for this thing because I keep buying, as you can see, I keep buying stainless. Most of the stuff is all stainless. I don't know why. I like shiny stuff. And I like to spend money I don't need to spend, I guess. So it adds up a little bit more, I'm sure. But we'll go get some stainless nuts, try to think about what else I might need so we can just run once and then get back to it. We are back with some miscellaneous stainless steel hardware so we can put the rest of this core support and whatever we're trying to do here together. So let's go to fast motion and you can watch me try to figure out how this goes together. As usual, I am a struggling. Cold case radiator. I mean, they're supposed to be a direct fit to the Tri-5, and it's close, but some things are different a little bit or something. But for some reason, we got 3 slots on this side, and they all 3 line up. I have the first one like money over here, but then that one's about a half a line off, and that one's about a whole bolt off. So it looks like, looking at our little weld up there, that the radiator is a hair lower. The weld kind of disappears behind the bar just a little bit. So the radiator needs to go up a hair. I just got to make some modifications to these slots to get it to fit, and then it seems like it's pushed in a little bit where my radiator before didn't hit this thing, whatever this little tin shroud or cover is. So I had to bend it back to get the radiator in there. I should just take it back apart and cut that off. I don't know what the purpose is. I guess maybe to block the wind from going underneath it. So maybe we'll leave it and just cut this lip off of it or something. Always got to be something. I'll get a little carbide bit or something and start messing with these. For some reason, that was a struggle and a half to get that radiator on there. Say it just mounts a little different or lines up a little different than the original one did. I mean, this might have to turn slightly one way or the other, forward and back. I don't know once we get everything else on, but we got clearance to the fan, so I guess we're good. I can't really go too much lower because, I mean, I could go 1/4 inch lower. These slots don't go up and down. There is slots that do go up and down, but they're too low. It just seems like this sticks a little above the crossbar here, a little more than the original one used to, so I'm hoping the hood is going to close. Should be good. Fingers crossed it's good. We'll keep on rolling, and then in you know, 6 months when we put the hood on, we'll find out. Hopefully it won't be that long. If we have to, we'll have to figure out a way to lower it. But for now, I guess we'll let this ride, and I'm going to put these side panels and this bottom thing on and see how all that stuff works. Maybe. I skipped ahead a little bit. We got some of this front sheet metal put together. I think I said before, I don't know for sure if I'm running the inner fender wells, so I don't know if these pieces will be there or not be there, or if I will make a little piece to block that off, or maybe I'll still run them. I was just playing with them a little bit, so I don't know about that. So then I kind of came up with a new design for my throttle linkage. It seems like it works a little better. And then I was going to install the alternator that I picked up, I think I grabbed it yesterday. I took it out of the box, and this is what I got. And I'm sure it'll work. It's one wire alternator, like 93 amps, but what's with the plastic ugly whatever vent thing right there? I can't have that on there. Anyways, I don't like that. I'm gonna take it back and see what else I can get. Gonna clean up tools. It's getting kind of late Sunday afternoon. I got some other stuff to do, so we're gonna call it a successful weekend. We got some stuff checked off the list. We got a long ways to go, but I will be back out hopefully tomorrow to check more things off the list. See you then. Well, it's several tomorrows later. I have been out here for a few times taking care of some little things off camera, but it is Saturday, so almost a week later, I guess. I haven't got a whole bunch done this week, and that's not good because time is running out. But I have done some little things. I got the rest of the radiator all mounted and everything. I'm not exactly sure where I left off, but the radiator's mounted. I'm still waiting to find out if my heater core is going to be able to be fixed, but for now I have, I'm glad I touched that because I got to tighten those up, but I just ran a loop here so the water can circulate. I got new radiator hoses. I did get a different alternator, much better looking than the black plastic dealy bobber there. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but I just didn't like it. This one is less amps. This is just like the original, like 63 amp. It is a 1-wire alternator. That's what they had. I probably don't need a ton of amps. I'm just running the 8. I was mostly worried about the MSD ignition, and it doesn't sound like that draws that much. And I don't have really anything else other than lights. So that should be plenty, I'm hoping. What else did we do? I wired up the alternator, did the little end on it and whatnot. I added a temperature gauge just temporarily so we can kind of keep an eye on it. So I guess what I still have left to do is tighten that hose up and then put some water in it. And then we will again try to fire it. I haven't started it again since the last time you guys saw in video. I want to get it started, mess with it enough to get it idling a little bit, and then I can kind of set the timing, maybe adjust the carburetor a little bit. Not that I'm an expert at any of that stuff, but I just want to get it to where it'll idle kind of on its own, and then we'll go from there. So let's see how that all goes down. think we're ready to try this again. As you just saw, I filled the radiator up. I just put water in it because, you know, I'm hopefully going racing. I don't think they want antifreeze in there, spill on the track, so I think water's better. We're done freezing. My brain doesn't work, so I'm counting on one of you guys out there to send me an email and remind me, say, mid-September, that I need to put antifreeze in this thing if I haven't already. It's your fault if it freezes up, so no pressure. So we got the water in there. We got the alternator hooked up. We got a fan belt. I think I mentioned something about the spark plug wires earlier. They're just like, I tried to kind of like do something. They're so long. I just have them right now running wild and make sure they're not on the headers. I'm probably just gonna have to get some different plug wires because I don't even know how to, unless I can just get ends for these, I don't know how to make these ones work. They're just way too long. So I have, the carburetor is filled with fuel already. I don't have the, I'm gonna start it without turning the fuel pump on, because it's, I think, setting a little too much pressure still. Just want to get it running. Once it's running and idling, then I can adjust the fuel pressure regulator to turn that down a little bit so I'm not, you know, flooding out the carburetor, hopefully, and work on some timing and that sort of stuff. So anyways, here goes. Got to turn the switch on. Anything started a fire up here? Should be good to go. Still just nervous every time I add power to it. All right, so obviously we're somewhere as close. I think I maybe need to turn the idle up just a hair because I have to kind of keep it running with the throttle. But I don't know if it ran out of gas or I just let it die. Still squirting. I'm going to turn the idle up just a hair. Try again. How about a hair more? So she's smoking, we're getting a little heat into it. I don't know if it's the idle or some other, I totally rebuilt this carburetor, so I might have the idle air screws in too far. I'd like to just get it toward the idle so I can mess. We'll play with it and come on back. Just shut her down. We got lots of smokage and stuff. We got new paint on the headers, so I'm supposed to cycle them a little bit. I mean, I only had it running for a couple minutes. Still don't look like we've opened the thermostat because that radiator's not circulating. Never even cracked 100 on that, so didn't have it running long enough to do anything. But just wanted to shut her down and check everything out. I did I did not adjust the fuel pressure regulator. I just, once it's running, when it's not running, it shows up at around 9, but when it's running, it was just, I don't know, you saw it, was it just over 6? Somewhere in there. I think that's good. I think like 6 to 9, 6 to 8. I don't know, I'll look it up, but I think 6 is ideal, and we're right close to 6, so 6 or 7, I think. So we're good there. I have not done anything with the timing other than where I, guesstimated it when I got her started. Sounds like she's pretty close though. She fires right up and she runs pretty decent. Now, obviously there's advanced springs and vacuum advance crap and adjustments on the carburetor. I haven't done none of that. Well, I did back out the idle mixer screws a little bit just because I had them set. I kind of put them where they were when I took it apart, which was only like a half a turn out, but I backed them out to an inch or a turn and a half to kind of as a starting point. And then it idled better. So I don't know if that was a difference or what. But anyways, man, we have us a runner for sure. It's not just a starter now. It will sit here and idle and run. No major catastrophes. I did disconnect the fuel pump, but I think I forgot to push off. Oh, I need to check and make sure with the distributor, with the alternator now hooked up. Let's do it right now while we're talking about it. We'll start it one more time real quick. Turn this bad boy on. Hopefully she'll fire right up again. Turn the idle down a little bit after the last video, or maybe it was too much, but she's still idling. Now if I did this right, when I push this in, it should shut off. Man, I did something right for a change. Hallelujah. All right, man, I don't know where I'm at with this video. I think this is probably enough for today. We got her running. I'm gonna get this out to you guys. Next thing I'm doing, I gotta set my pinion angle, tack the perches in place, pull it out, weld them, paint it, get it back in. I can bleed all the brakes. My drive shaft is being built as we speak. Well, it's Saturday, so maybe early next week I'll have a drive shaft. And unless I have run into some snags with the brakes, I should be at least driving it in and out of the garage, maybe around the block, something like that. And then we'll keep on moving forward. Thanks again for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Rocky Mountain Race Week, we're still working to get there. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys in Kearney, Nebraska in, I don't even know, 27 days. See ya.